Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the podcast, and welcome to your Monday Night Raw post-show, man. And there is a lot to talk about in today's episode. We hear from men's King of the Ring winner, Obafemi. We also hear from women's Queen of the Ring winner, Io Sky. We got Ethan Page in action taking on Rey Mysterio. We'll talk about that in today's episode as well. We also hear from Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry also has a match as well. Like I said, we talk about Io Sky. LA Knight is in action once again, taking on Jimmy Uso. We also have a matchup between Raquel Rodriguez and Maxine Dupree, which we'll talk about in today's episode as well. Chad Gable taking on JD McDonough. And we also hear from the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns. And we'll talk about that in today's episode, as well as a full rundown of the show. So let's start off the night, man. We see Obafemi. Obafemi comes out to the ring, grabs a microphone. Oba says that the reception was okay for a ruler, but now I need a better reception for a king. Oba says that he told Jey Uso destiny was on his side. Oba says that a decision needs to be made. But after that, Obafemi is interrupted by none other than the Beast, Brock Lesnar. Lesnar comes out to the ring with Paul Heyman. Lesnar then steps in the ring, gives Oba an applause. He also gives congrats to Obafemi for winning the King of the Ring. Lesnar says, being the King of the Ring, he was King of the Ring at one time. Lesnar says he doesn't watch the show, so he relies on Heyman. Lesnar says he knows Oba has been running his mouth. Lesnar says that Oba cut a great promo, something that I was never good at. That's why I got Heyman. Lesnar then hits a low blow on Obafemi, followed by an F5 on Oba in the middle of the ring. Heyman says that now that was a great promo. And Heyman and Lesnar walk off. Oba then gets up, grabs a microphone, and says, "No, you don't show up and hit an F5 and leave." Oba says, "You're right. In front of me, you're still a bitch." Oba says, "We can settle this right now. Lesnar versus Obafemi at SummerSlam." Lesnar says, "Yeah, I agree, but on one condition. And that condition is none other than Hell in a Cell." And we'll talk more about this at the end of today's episode. Moving on from that, we go into our first official match of the night. It's Ethan Page taking on Rey Mysterio. I thought it was a good match. It was a back and forth matchup between Ethan Page and Rey Mysterio, with Mysterio hitting a Hurricane Rana on Ethan Page in the middle of the ring. Page, though, was trying to keep the pace of the match, with Page hitting a side slam off the top rope onto the turnbuckle pad on Rey Mysterio. Mysterio gets up, hits a senton off the top rope, landing on Page, followed by an enziguri. Mysterio then goes for a 619, but Page counters it with a big boot. Mysterio then gets up, hits a Hurricane Rana off the top rope, followed by a 619, and then Rey goes to the top rope, hits a frog splash off the top rope, landing on Ethan Page, pins for the 3, and your winner of the match is Rey Mysterio. Hats off to Rey Mysterio for getting the win in this matchup. Moving on from that, we hear from Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry's in the middle of the ring. He brings out the Street Profits. The Street Profits come out to the ring. Montez talks about the fans' appreciation for the Street Profits. Montez, Ford, and Dawkins then thank the WWE Universe. They also thank Seth Rollins and Joe Hendry. Hendry then starts singing a song, and he mocks Austin Theory. After that, the Street Profits and Hendry are interrupted by Austin Theory. Theory then mocks the Street Profits, and Theory says that he talked to Pierce, and there is a rematch for the titles next week. Moving on from that, we get an impromptu matchup between Austin Theory and Joe Hendry. I thought it was a decent match. It was a back-and-forth matchup between Theory and Hendry, with Theory keeping the pace of the match. Hendry hits a DDT, followed by a fall-away slam on Theory. Hendry then follows it up by hitting a lariat for a near fall, but Theory gets up, tries to get some offense in by hitting a neck breaker on Joe Hendry for a near fall. Theory and Hendry then both exchange in the middle of the ring, with Hendry hitting a side effect on Austin Theory in the middle of the ring, pins for the 3, and your winner of the match is Joe Hendry. Hats off to Joe Hendry for getting the win in this matchup. Moving on from that, we hear from Queen of the Ring, Io Sky. Io Sky comes out to the ring, grabs a microphone, and says, "I'm Queen." Io then talks about beating Liv at Night of Champions, and she says she's going to beat Liv at SummerSlam and become Women's World Champion. After that, Io Sky is interrupted by Liv Morgan. Liv grabs a microphone and mocks Io. Liv says that she doesn't respect Io and that she pissed Liv off. Liv mentions when is the last time we saw Stephanie Vaquer around here. Liv then mentions Rhea Ripley and taking everything away from Rhea. Liv says that she's taking everything away from Io as well. After that, the Judgment Day are here. Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez. Io attacks Raquel and Roxanne, and Io then attacks Liv Morgan. But Raquel and Roxanne enter the ring. They attack Io, and then Liv hits an Oblivion, taking out Io Sky. Some interesting stuff there between Liv Morgan and Io Sky. Moving on from that, we go into our next match of the night. It's LA Knight taking on Jimmy Uso. This is pretty much a rematch from last week. It was a good match. It was a back-and-forth matchup between Knight and Uso, with Knight keeping the pace of the match. Jimmy hits an enziguri, followed by a hip attack on LA Knight, followed by Jimmy hitting a crossbody for a near fall. LA Knight then gets up, hits a neck breaker, but Jimmy follows it up by hitting a super kick. Jimmy then hits a spear on LA Knight in the middle of the ring for a near fall, but LA Knight hits a superplex off the top rope on Jimmy Uso for a near fall. Jay then tells Knight, stop cheating. Knight then attacks Jay ringside. LA Knight then hits an elbow drop on Jimmy. Knight then attacks Jay Uso. Jimmy, though, hits a roll-up on LA Knight, pins for the 3, and your winner of the match is Jimmy Uso. After the match, LA Knight's frustrated. He attacks Jimmy Uso. Jay then enters the ring. He attacks LA Knight, but Solo is here, and Solo once again hits a Samoan spike on Jimmy Uso. Then LA Knight hits a BFT on Jay Uso in the middle of the ring. Some interesting stuff here between LA Knight and Solo Sikoa. And moving on from that, we have an announcement from Michael Cole. Due to the actions that happened backstage at Night of Champions between Gunther and Nick Aldis, Gunther has been put on leave, as well as SmackDown General Manager Nick Aldis. And it looks like Raw General Manager Adam Pearce will fill in for Aldis until Aldis is able to come back to work. So it looks like Adam Pearce will also be the interim GM on this Friday night SmackDown. Some interesting stuff there from Adam Pearce. Moving on from that, we go into our next match of the night as well. It is Raquel Rodriguez from the Judgment Day taking on Maxine Dupree. I thought it was a decent match. It was a back-and-forth matchup between Rodriguez and Dupree, with Dupree hitting a Hurricane Rana on Raquel. Raquel then hits a slingshot suplex, followed by a torture rack, but the hold is broken. Maxine hits a DDT, followed by a spin kick. Maxine then hits a leg drop for a near fall, but Raquel hits a Tahana Bomb on Maxine Dupree in the middle of the ring, pins for the 3, and your winner of the match is Raquel Rodriguez. Hats off to Raquel for getting the win in this matchup. Moving on from that, we go into our next match of the night. It's Chad Gable taking on Judgment Day's JD McDonough. Now, I thought this was a really good match. There was a back-and-forth matchup between Gable and McDonough, with Gable keeping the pace of the match. Gable applies an ankle lock on McDonough in the middle of the ring, but the hold is quickly broken. Gable then hits multiple German suplexes on McDonough in the middle of the ring, but JD gets up, hits a standing Spanish fly on Gable in the middle of the ring. JD then follows it up by hitting a powerbomb for a near fall, but Gable gets up, goes for a moonsault, but JD had the leg up. But Gable catches the leg, he applies another ankle lock on McDonough, but the hold is broken. Dominic Mysterio, who was ringside, was causing a distraction. This allowed JD to hit a Spanish fly off the top rope on Gable for a near fall. After that, Danhausen is here. Dominic chases after Danhausen. Gable then applies another ankle lock on McDonough. McDonough then taps out, and your winner of the match is Chad Gable. After the match, Dom and JD spot a briefcase ringside that was full of money. They open the briefcase, but a bunch of powder explodes from the briefcase, taking out Dominic Mysterio and JD McDonough. Danhausen then takes back his Knicks jersey for the New York Knicks, but all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Raquel Rodriguez attacks Danhausen and then steals back the New York Knicks basketball jersey and hands it back to Dominic Mysterio. Some interesting stuff here between Danhausen and the Judgment Day. And moving on from that, we hear from the Tribal Chief himself, the World Heavyweight Champion, Roman Reigns. Roman comes out to the ring and asks the fans to acknowledge him. But after that, Roman is quickly interrupted by none other than Seth Rollins. Rollins and Roman get in the middle of the ring. They're face to face. Rollins says, "Hello, my brother." Rollins says 14 years. Him and Roman have been tied together at the hip. And Rollins then mentions the Shield. Rollins says that Roman has a title that belongs to him. Rollins says it's time to collect. Roman says Rollins is in the back of the line. But then Roman says Rollins has done nothing to get himself an opportunity at the World Heavyweight title. Rollins says when it comes to Roman, he's always in the front of the line. And Rollins says that he owns Roman. Rollins then talks about the history that he's had with Roman. Rollins says in 4 years, you beat everyone except one. Rollins says he owned Roman since the day he put a steel chair to his back and ended the Shield. Rollins says that Roman is great, though. Rollins says that there was one thing Roman has never done in his career, and that is beat him. Rollins says him and Roman are more closer to the end than they are in the beginning, and that this might be the last chance they have for this fight. Rollins then praises Roman. He even said Roman is a first ballot Hall of Famer. Roman says it's been a long time since he's heard any truth from Rollins. Roman says he needs to beat Rollins. He needs his family to witness him beating Rollins. And then Roman accepts a match with Rollins at this year's SummerSlam. Some interesting stuff there between Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. A couple things I want to talk about, man, when it pertains to Monday Night Raw before I get the hell up out of here. So I want to start with the elephant in the room. I want to start with the Obafemi situation here with Brock Lesnar. Now, I have made comments about this. People in the community has made comments about this. When the hell are we going to see Brock Lesnar? Monday Night Raw was in Baltimore, Maryland, and Lesnar was a no-show. Raw then was in London before we get to Night of Champions, and once again, Lesnar's a no-show. And seemingly for the past 3 to 4 weeks, Oba has made comments about Brock Lesnar, and Lesnar has been a no-show. No sign of Heyman, no sign of Lesnar. And then we get to Monday Night Raw tonight, and then we see Brock Lesnar showing up in Atlantic City with Paul Heyman. Now, Lesnar comes out, he gives congrats to Obafemi for winning the King of the Ring. And then I'm sitting here thinking to myself, like, okay, how is this going to play out? What are we going to do here? Because I said it after Night of Champions review that I did, is that there is no way in hell that you're not going to have Obafemi and Brock Lesnar, or at least Brock Lesnar, a part of the SummerSlam festivities, knowing that SummerSlam is going to be in, I believe, Minneapolis, Minnesota. There's no way in hell you're not going to have the likes of Brock Lesnar on that show. So how do we fit that match between Obafemi and Brock Lesnar? How do we get there? Because we haven't seen Brock Lesnar yet. So we see Brock Lesnar show up on Raw in Atlantic City. He hits a low blow on Oba, hits an F5, and then he goes to walk away. And then Oba says, well, no, you're not going to come here, hit an F5, and walk away. We're going to have this match. It's going to take place at SummerSlam. So we got the match, and then after that, Lesnar one-upped Oba and said, you know what, yeah, I agree to this match, but on one condition. This match is going to take place in a Hell in a Cell, which, by the way, is going to be absolutely incredible. Having two of these guys in the middle of the ring locked in a Hell in a Cell is going to be absolutely incredible, man. Incredible. They're going to tear the house down. But there's one issue, and that is with now that Oba has won the King of the Ring, the whole stipulation with the King of the Ring is whoever won it was going to get a title match at SummerSlam. So it looks like Oba is going to bypass his opportunity at a World Championship matchup at SummerSlam, and we're going to get Brock and Oba in a Hell in a Cell at SummerSlam. Seemingly putting the King of the Ring stipulation almost like a Money in the Bank type of situation, where it looks like Obafemi's going to cash in that opportunity whenever the hell he damn near pleases. I have a problem with that. Look, for what it's worth, I'm excited for the Lesnar and Oba Hell in a Cell match at SummerSlam. Absolutely. But knowing that you're going to bypass, getting that title opportunity at SummerSlam literally defeats the purpose of the King of the Ring tournament. It does. It defeats the entire, purpose, to me, of the King of the Ring. You win the King of the Ring tournament for both the men or the women, and if you win the King of the Ring tournament, it grants you an opportunity at whatever respective title you want at SummerSlam. So we have EO taking on Liv, but we have nobody taking on Sami Zayn, which I'll get to here in a second. So it leaves Oba with an opportunity where he can cash in this opportunity now that he won the King of the Ring whenever the hell he damn near pleases. I know a lot of people were saying, okay, well, it's going to be Oba and Lesnar night 1 and Roman and Oba night 2. That's a lot of weight on somebody's shoulders, man, being on the main roster for 7 months. I respect the hell out of Oba. I told you guys before, I think Oba is the future of this business. He's the future of WWE for the next 10-15 years, easily. WrestleMania main event star written all over him. Absolutely. But that's a tall tale task to have this guy not only face Brock Lesnar in a Hell in a Cell match and then face Roman Reigns night 2 for the World Heavyweight title. That is a tall tale task, man, for one individual. Absolutely. And my thing is, right now, could Oba wait? Yeah, he could wait. I mean, again, I don't agree with bypassing the title opportunity, because what was the purpose of the King of the Ring to begin with if we're just going to get Brock Lesnar and Oba and then not have, Oba have an opportunity at the world title? But I can see the pros and cons of that, because if you have Oba go in and beat Roman at SummerSlam, then where does this leave Oba as suitable challengers for the title? You got Rollins, you got Roman in a rematch. I mean, I feel like they're waiting. I feel like Roman is not going to drop this belt until we get to WrestleMania, to be honest with you, where you could book Oba versus Roman at Mania and have Oba go over and become the new World Heavyweight Champion. I don't see Roman dropping this belt until we get to WrestleMania. I just don't. I do not see it. And that right there alone, that's why I can understand why they're booking Lesnar and Oba in this Hell in a Cell match, probably most likely main eventing night 1 of SummerSlam, rather than Oba facing Lesnar and then facing Roman night 2. And then I told you guys where do we fit Seth Rollins, and that's where I want to get to in here next. Where do we fit Rollins into the situation at SummerSlam? Because there's no way in hell you're not going to not book Rollins at SummerSlam, being the biggest show of the summer. So you have Roman coming out at the end of the night. He gets the fans to acknowledge him, and then he gets interrupted by Seth Rollins, and I'm sitting here thinking, okay, oh shit, here we go. This is actually going to go down. And then Seth Rollins cut that great promo on Roman. He talks about the history that he's had with Roman, the Shield. A lot of truth with what Rollins was saying. But my whole thing was, before we got to Monday Night Raw, was, okay, if we're going to do Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, how are we going to get there? And they're finally, pushing the gas to get us there, and why we're going to have this matchup. And now it's official for SummerSlam for the World Heavyweight title. This match needs to happen. I mean, Roman and Seth, obviously there's a lot of history there, just stemming back from the Shield days. You know what I mean? There's some hatred there between Rollins and Roman, some hostility, some animosity here between Rollins and Reigns, and this match needs to happen. I mean, the quote that I take just from what Rollins said alone is that Rollins said verbatim that him and Roman are more at the end of the line than they are at the beginning of the line in their careers. And Rollins makes a perfect point, man. I mean, these guys have been with WWE for quite some time. And I agree with Rollins. I mean, I'm not sitting here saying that Rollins is on his retirement tour, but I understand the fact that he believes that, hey, man, you and I are more at the end of the line here than we are at the beginning of the line. And Rollins even said that there's other talent that are coming up to the main roster that by the time they get to the main roster, I mean, Rollins and Roman are going to be dinosaurs, man. Times are changing. The new era is coming. And it's slowly starting to build and slowly starting to bubble over with guys like Oba, Braun Breaker, Javon Evans. That new era is coming, whether people like it or not. So that comment that Rollins made towards Roman, stating that, hey, man, we have to do this match. If not now, then it might not ever happen, because, again, we're more at the end of the line here than we are in the beginning of the line. And I agree with them. I mean, at this point, even if you look at the career span right now between Roman and Seth, what really is left for these guys to do? Honestly. And it's not taking anything away from Roman and Seth. I think they're both great athletes, both great wrestlers, but they are, I'm not going to say on the very tail end of their career, but their careers are at getting close to the end of the line here. You know what I mean? Like, what else is next? I mean, Roman's doing some acting stuff now and all this other shit, and he's more on a part-time schedule. It's not the same Roman that we've seen, 10 years ago, where he was on every Monday Night Raw or every Friday Night SmackDown. I mean, times are changing. So, and this new era is coming. So when Rollins made that comment and telling Roman, hey, brother, we're more at the end of the line here than we are at the beginning. Yeah, you guys are. And that's why this match needs to happen. I mean, SummerSlam is 2 nights in Minneapolis, Minnesota. This show is going to be going up against basically All In. And they're going to overbook the shit out of this card. Now, with the match announcement between Brock and Oba, and now Rollins and Reigns, now the question is, where do we go here now with Sami Zayn? And what is Sami Zayn going to be doing going into SummerSlam? There's a lot of people pitching different ideas and different kind of conspiracy, man, that are just absolutely just insane. I've heard people saying that Brock Lesnar could show up at Saturday night's main event at the Garden and cost Sami Zayn the opportunity to still hold the WWE title, and Lesnar becomes WWE champion. I've heard that shit. But I've also heard some spoilers for Zayn, and my standpoint with Zayn after he won the title has been the same. I don't think Zayn is going to have this long, elaborate title reign. There's even rumors and speculation right now and spoilers that he's going to drop that title here very, very soon. Very soon. And then, if you watch Raw, you have Fatu and the Usos backstage, and Fatu tells the Usos, hey, I was given orders by the Tribal Chief that I'm going to SmackDown to confront Solo. And then you hear Jay say, well, yeah, I'm going to SmackDown too. I guess we're going together because I'm getting a title match against Sami Zayn, even though I just lost the King of the Ring tournament final, which makes no fucking sense. And there's rumors now that Jey Uso is going to beat Sami Zayn for that world title, and it's going to be Cody Rhodes versus Jey Uso at SummerSlam, which would be an absolute fucking mistake. I'm done with the Yeet era shit, bro. I'm sorry, man. I'm done with it. I told you guys how I felt about that shit. I am fucking done with it. I'm done with it. And the fact that Jay is getting an opportunity against Sami Zayn possibly for a WWE title opportunity after this guy just lost the King of the Ring final. The King of the Ring, man, is washed. WWE pulled the rug underneath everybody's feet, man, with the King of the Ring. The King of the Ring this year didn't mean shit. It didn't mean shit. We had Oba bypassing his opportunity at SummerSlam. Jay loses against Oba, but then Jay's getting an opportunity at Sami Zayn for the WWE Championship. I mean, what was the purpose of not only King of the Ring, but Night of Champions? It was not needed, bro. It was not necessary at all. And I think it's a huge mistake. But then you also factor in, are they going to book Cody Rhodes versus CM Punk at SummerSlam? Is that something else? Because technically you can do this matchup between Rhodes and Punk without the WWE title. Absolutely. And we know that CM Punk is on his way back here within the next few days to return possibly to SmackDown or Monday Night Raw, with him eventually going over to SmackDown. So is this something where they are going to line up Oba, Roman, Rollins and Reigns, and then Cody and CM Punk at SummerSlam? 3 monstrous matches at SummerSlam. How we get there, I don't know. Do I need to see Cody Rhodes go back and be in WWE champion again for a match against him and CM Punk? Absolutely not. I think right now, Cody Rhodes needs to take a step back. I'd rather have him chase for the title than him be champion automatically again. It does nothing for SmackDown. Nothing. Absolutely not. I'd rather have Cody Rhodes chase after the title. But with this news coming out about Zayn, bro, I mean, it's wow. You know what I mean? I guess, I think for Zayn, obviously he got a lot of hate when he won the title. There's a lot of people out here that don't like Sami Zayn for who he is or his political views or where, his political standpoint is and all this other shit. I can honestly give a rat's ass about that. I respect Sami Zayn for the wrestler that he is and the character that he is portrayed on television. I don't give a shit about the guy's political views. I really don't. I give a rat's ass about that. But the fact that you're going to have this guy have the biggest moment of his career, the first time he won the World Championship in 13 years, and then have him possibly drop the belt, possibly, I believe, on SmackDown, to Jey Uso is a huge fucking mistake. Huge mistake. And that's one of the rumors that I think is going to happen. It's one of the things that are speculated, that Jey is going to beat Zayn for the world title, and then we're going to get possibly Jey Uso versus Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam. That's a huge fucking mistake. I'm sorry. I am sorry. You're going to give a guy a title opportunity after he just got his ass whooped at the King of the Ring final against Oba Femi, and you're going to give this guy an opportunity at Sami Zayn's WWE Championship after he just lost at Night of Champions? Come on, bro. Come on. You're forcing this Jey Uso agenda down our fucking throats. Come on, man. Come on. And I get it, man. Look, the Bloodline, there's rumors that Zilla Fatu's coming in. I've said it from day one about Zilla. If Zilla comes in, it'd be a great addition to the Bloodline. But there are also, right now, look, I'm going to tell you all this right now, bro. When you look at SmackDown and Raw, especially Monday Night Raw, bro, the whole Bloodline run WWE, man. They run that like a tight ship. When you think of WWE nowadays, you think of the Bloodline. I mean, Christ, bro. I mean, look at the situation with LA Knight and Jimmy Uso. They're running this shit back-to-back weeks with seemingly the same situation with Solo coming out and hitting another Samoan spike on Jimmy Uso. I mean, Jesus Christ, bro. LA Knight. Look, man, if you're a fan of LA Knight, I am sorry. I am sorry. But holy shit, man. This, man, LA Knight, the only thing that's making LA Knight and putting him on TV is this whole bloodline bullshit. There's nothing else they have for LA Knight. And once they move past LA Knight, bro, this shit, you might as well have LA Knight walking out with his bags packed and calling it a fucking day. I mean, Jesus Christ, bro, how many times do we had to see LA Knight associated somehow with the fucking bloodline? Whether it's LA Knight and Solo, LA Knight and Jimmy, LA Knight and Jay, LA Knight and Roman, LA Knight Fatu. Holy fucking shit, man. Jesus Christ. It don't take Scooby-Doo and the gang to figure out this shit ain't working. It ain't fucking working. It's not. LA Knight is mid-card at best. And the only thing that's keeping him on TV right now is the fucking bloodline. I mean, what happened, dude? You invite this guy over for a barbecue and he said some shit about some kind of fucking barbecue ribs or something that went fucking off the rails and it pissed you off, and now he's beefing with the bloodline for the rest of his fucking life until he apologizes? I mean, what the fuck are we doing here? What are we doing? They got nothing for this dude, man. Nothing. I watched Raw last night. Well, we're going to run it back with Jimmy Uso and LA Knight coming up here next. I'm like, dude, you got to be fucking joking me. They have nothing for LA Knight at all, bro. They just don't. I'm sorry. They had him in the King of the Ring. He lost. How many opportunities have LA Knight had to be a world champion or be back in the championship picture, and they dropped the ball with LA Knight? They don't believe in LA Knight, bro. That dude's washed. They don't believe in him at all. He's mid-card at best. And I would not be fucking shocked come next year for WrestleMania that LA Knight's not on that release list for WWE. I would not be shocked. Him, Nakamura, I wouldn't be fucking shocked. Because without the bloodline, there is nothing for LA Knight. Nothing. The bloodline can move on and do whatever the fuck they want to do, but LA Knight is relying on the bloodline like you would not believe right now. He is kissing their asses. Because without the bloodline, LA Knight's sitting back in catering not doing jack shit. He needs the bloodline like people need fucking oxygen. Because without it, he ain't doing shit. And they're like, yeah, okay, we'll book you another bloodline segment or another bloodline matchup against Jimmy or Jay or whatever else. We'll give you something to do. And have pity on him. I mean, come on, bro. Come on. Even LA Knight himself said that the crowd reactions in the States have dwindled over the years. Yeah, no shit. Because they're not doing nothing with you, bro. You come out, you cut some stupid-ass promo, and it leads to, well, I don't like Jay, or I don't like Jimmy, and you know, I don't understand what, Jimmy's and Jay's kissing Roman's ass. And, dude, it's the same fucking shit over and over and over and over again. Holy shit. And like I said, bro, it does not take Scooby-Doo and the gang to figure out that this shit ain't fucking working. It's not working. But you have no other sense of direction for this fucking guy creatively besides the goddamn bloodline. Holy shit, man. Holy shit. Seriously, like, what do you, like, honestly, with people that are LA Knight fans, what are you expecting to be the outcome of this shit with LA Knight and the bloodline? What, going in the fucking War Games in November? At Survivor Series? Because now you have Solo taking apart the bloodline and attacking Jimmy now back-to-back weeks, and then you got LA Knight beefing with the Usos and shit. Come on, bro. Come on. And then you got Zilla Fatu coming in. So what is it going to be? Is Solo going to align himself up with Zilla? And Solo and Zilla, and then what? LA Knight? Come on, man. I guess what? The bloodline? Come on, bro. Come on. Jesus Christ, bro. When I saw that, man, I was like, you got to be fucking joking me, man. Here we go again, running it back with the same bullshit with LA Knight and Jimmy Uso, a match that we literally saw last week. Well, we're going to run it back because there's nothing else more for LA Knight to do, bro. I mean, Jesus Christ, man. Let the guy go. I hate saying it, but release him. He's done nothing. When is the last time you saw LA Knight in another situation or another match or another segment that doesn't involve the goddamn bloodline? Please, I'll wait. Because the last time I can remember that we saw LA Knight do anything else besides the bloodline was when he got his ass kicked by the Vision. Most notably Bronson Reed. And this was the early stages of the Vision. So again, I remind you, besides that, when is the last time you saw... I mean, dude, it's been a minute. It's been months that LA Knight has been dealing with the goddamn bloodline. And even before the Vision, he was still dealing with the goddamn bloodline. Most notably Jay. So, like, what the fuck are we doing here? LA Knight and the bloodline, they are tied at the fucking hip. And it's just getting fucking old, man. It is getting stale. It is getting stale. And the creative team for WWE, bro, it's fucking chalked. It is absolutely chalked. You had all this build-up for the King of the Ring tournament, and everybody was either happy or pissed off with the outcome of the King of the Ring final for the men's tournament. And then we have Oba win, fantastic. And now Oba is bypassing that opportunity for a title match at SummerSlam, and seemingly, according to Michael Cole, it's going to be some kind of situation where it's almost going to be like a cash-in, like he won Money in the Bank. So it completely just discredits the King of the Ring tournament. Jesus Christ, man. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? What are we doing? Nothing makes sense. Yeah, I get it. Brock was going to be at the show at SummerSlam, one way or another. No shit. And some people are saying, oh, we'll have Oba face Lesnar night 1 and then Roman night 2. Yeah, that's a tall tale task for one individual, bro, when a guy's been on the main roster for not even a year yet. Let's pump our brakes a little bit and let's slow the fuck down. Slow down. Just like I said from the beginning, we don't need to see Oba Femi on Monday Night Raw every single fucking night. It kills the mystique of Oba Femi. Let's slow his ass down. Slow it down. We don't need to, just rocket ship this guy right to Roman. Because now for nothing, I don't see Roman dropping that belt to Mania. I don't. I like Seth Rollins. I respect Rollins. I see Roman beating Rollins. He needs this win. He needs to beat Rollins. And then Roman takes the belt into WrestleMania. And what they do at Mania, most likely, Roman versus Oba? You know what I mean? Sure. And have Oba go over and beat Roman at Mania? Absolutely. But holy shit, man, that's a tall tale task for anybody to go up against the likes of Brock Lesnar and the likes of Roman Reigns back-to-back nights. Especially in a Hell in a Cell match night 1 and then facing off against Roman night 2 for the World Heavyweight title. That is a very tall tale task for anybody in that goddamn company. We need to pump our brakes with Oba. Relax, let the shit marinate, let it simmer, chill the hell out. Chill out. People want to fast track this guy so quickly and then he wins the title, and then what do you do with him after that? You know what I mean? Then you look at the situation with Adam Pearce being general manager for SmackDown as well because of the altercation that happened between Nick Aldis and Gunther. I said this on my Night of Champions review. There's no way in hell that you're not going to put Nick Aldis in that ring. They have been teasing this shit for I don't know how long now. You can go back to the Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre situation where they teased Nick Aldis coming out of retirement and facing off against Drew McIntyre. Nick Aldis at some point is going to lace up a pair of boots again. Is it going to be against Gunther? Most likely. Is Gunther going to beat the shit out of Nick Aldis? Probably. But I'm pretty sure that Nick Aldis wants to at least have one match where he can lace his pair of boots up again and wrestle in a WWE ring. I'm sure of it. They could book it at SummerSlam. Why the hell not? Aldis versus Gunther. I'm not against it. I'm not against it. And right now you have a storyline right now with the fact that Gunther and both Nick Aldis have been seemingly written off TV for right now until they can figure out what they're going to do with Gunther and Nick Aldis, and Pearce is stepping in to replace Aldis right now until they figure out what they're going to do with Aldis moving forward. Let's have a match. Why not? What's it going to hurt? It's not going to do anything. I mean, my thing is it's not going to hurt nobody because right now what the hell is left for Gunther? Gunther ain't going to be doing shit. After the matchup he got against Cody Rhodes and Sami Zayn, Gunther ain't doing a damn thing right now. I think a lot of people will be excited for a Nick Aldis versus Gunther match at SummerSlam. Why not? You got 2 nights to fill a card. Why not? With no signs of Rhea Ripley returning, we haven't seen Stephanie Vaquer. I think Stephanie's dealing with a visa issue. We don't know what the hell's going on. You got 2 nights for SummerSlam, supposed to be the biggest event of the summer. I'm not against having Nick Aldis versus Gunther as one of the matches on either night 1 or night 2. Absolutely not. It'd be entertaining as all hell. You know what I mean? And there's a storyline within itself. You can write a story off of this of what happened at Night of Champions backstage. Gunther believes that Aldis is jealous of what Gunther's doing and what Gunther is. And then Aldis is like, you know what? Hell, let's have a match. You know what I mean? Let's see if you can put your money where your mouth is. And then we get a match at SummerSlam between Aldis and Gunther. I'm not against that. Because it's been teased for the longest time that Aldis is going to step in the ring in WWE and lace up his pair of boots again and step inside the squared circle. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Absolutely. But, I mean, besides all that, was Raw a bad show? No. It was not a bad show, but again, I think with the outcome of what we saw on Monday Night Raw with Oba and Brock, the comments that Jay made saying that he was going over to SmackDown to face off against Zayn for the world title, I feel like it literally just completely just takes everything away from the King of the Ring. Honestly. The whole mantra around it, everything about it just literally went to shit once we got to Monday Night Raw. It meant nothing. It meant nothing. Oba's, pretty much carrying around a briefcase like he won Money in the Bank, even though he won King of the Ring and cash in his opportunity whenever the hell he wants, seemingly. And then we have Jay, who lost against Oba at the King of the Ring finals and now is trying to get an opportunity at Sami Zayn for the world title, which a lot of people are saying that Zayn is going to drop the belt. Which, I mean, bro, you're talking about not having a lot of faith in a guy. Oh, we'll give Sami Zayn a break this time, but he's going to drop the belt in about, 6-7 days. I mean, come on, man. Jesus Christ. There's your accolade for you, Sami. It took you 13 years to get it, but you're only going to hold it for a few days. Jesus Christ, man. You want to talk about the writing on the fucking wall? Sure. Same thing with LA Knight, bro. You think I'm pissed off with the Jey Uso situation, man. LA Knight, bro, it's over. I'm sorry. Every time they give you an opportunity, they don't want to push you to get you an opportunity at the title. You were in the King of the Ring tournament. You failed. You came up short. You had one U.S. title run that meant shit, and that was it. And you seemingly have been tied to the hip of the bloodline ever since. I mean, Christ, you had back-to-back matches alone with Jimmy Uso that mean literally jack shit. LA Knight is tied at the hip of the bloodline. He is kissing their asses because without the bloodline, you wouldn't see LA Knight on television. That's the only thing that's making LA Knight relevant right now, is the bloodline. And it's an absolute fucking joke. It's a joke. You got no other plans, no other creative ideas for this guy except for the fucking bloodline. Jesus Christ, man. I mean, literally, LA Knight is kissing their asses. Oh, I have a match with you this week, man, as long as you put me on television, because if you don't, LA Knight's going to be sitting back there in fucking catering screaming, yeah, 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 sit back and eating a goddamn chicken parm sandwich at catering. Ain't doing shit. And you can hear the yeah, yeah, yeah from catering backstage when the show's on the air. He's better off, yeah, 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 and his ass out the goddamn building and see you later and give him a peace out. And don't let the door hit you on the ass on the way out. Jesus Christ, man. I mean, it ain't rocket science, folks. They're not doing shit with LA Knight. This whole, oh yeah, we're going to push LA Knight. I heard that story come out at the beginning of the year. Well, Finn Balor's getting a push and LA Knight's getting a push. What fucking push? What push? I mean, if we're comparing apples to fucking oranges between Finn Balor and LA Knight, Finn got way more of a push than LA Knight did. I mean, hell, Finn Balor even came back as his old character, the Demon, to face Dominic Mysterio at WrestleMania. What the fuck are they doing with LA Knight at Mania? Having him team up once again with the fucking Usos to take on Logan Paul, Austin Theory, and I Show Speed. Once again, LA Knight can't get away from the fucking Usos. Or the Bloodline. It's like, holy shit, bro. They might as well brand that. That shit is like spaghetti and fucking meatballs. It's like Coca-Cola and Pepsi. You can't have the Bloodline without LA Knight. Holy shit. And people get, and dude, I've heard people say, well, this can work just like the Sami Zayn situation when he was with Roman Reigns, the honorary Uso. Have you lost your fucking mind? LA Knight is no honorary Uso. Ain't no way. And shame on you for trying to compare Sami Zayn to LA Knight and that storyline. Sami Zayn played a vital role into that Bloodline storyline when he was the honorary Uso. It was a great role for Sami. There was people in the crowd that had tears in their eyes when Sami Zayn hit Roman with that fucking chair shot. Tears in their eyes. Grown-ass men crying. And comparing LA Knight to Sami Zayn, saying, oh, well, LA Knight could be, an honorary Uso or whatever, be a part of the Bloodline. Get the fuck out of here. Ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way. Jesus Christ. No. Hell no. No. I'm telling you guys right now, I'm putting it out there. I would not be shocked if LA Knight is not one of the big shocking names a part of the release list after Mania coming up. I wouldn't be shocked at all. We always get one big name that's like, holy shit, I can't believe they released him. Look at Kairi Sane that just got released, and the Wyatt Six. Everybody's like, holy shit. I would not be surprised if LA Knight's not on that goddamn list where they released him. I would not be fucking shocked. I would not be shocked. I'm calling it now. I would not be surprised. Him, Nakamura, they're not doing shit with these guys, man. They're looking to make money. They're not making money with LA Knight and Nakamura. What the hell's Nakamura been doing as of late? Nothing. Nothing. Jesus Christ, man. Oh, man. I don't know, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the day, I don't know. And the thing of it is, bro, is I had a lot of faith in LA Knight. I think he is good on the microphone. He was over when he came into WWE on the main roster. He came into his own. But, man, Jesus, we can't get this guy anything else besides the fucking bloodline. Nothing. Holy shit, bro. It's like ordering the same sandwich every single day for the rest of your life. Can we get something else? Can we get some change? Something? No. Instead, he is kissing their asses because without him, he's not going to be on television. Like I said, he's going to be back in catering, not doing jack shit. Sitting there back there having a sweet tea and a chicken parm sandwich and call it a fucking day. Seriously. He is kissing their ass. Hey, man, you mind having a match with me tonight and you put me on television? Jesus Christ, bro. You're begging. Because they have no vision with this guy. None. That new era that Seth Rollins was talking about, that's on the up, on the up and up. Guys like Javon Evans, Stephanie Vaquer, Ethan Page, those type of guys and girls that are on the up and up. LA Knight's not a part of that conversation, bro. LA Knight's already damn near in his 50s already. He ain't a part of that conversation. And it's over. It's game over. It's over. And I'm sorry if you're an LA Knight fan, but man, jeez, even as an LA Knight fan, bro, you can't sit here and honestly tell me to my face that you don't wish that he could be in a serious storyline or face off against somebody else besides the goddamn Usos or the Bloodline. It's gotten stale, bro. That well has ran fucking dry. It's like trying to get blood from a fucking stone, bro. It's over. Jesus Christ, move the fuck on. Move on. Let's do something else. Let's get this little creative team and writing team that Triple H has and write some fucking story that makes sense for LA Knight. Because if you can't write a story for this guy, then fucking release him. I'm sorry. I don't want someone to lose their job, but if you can't find fill a void with this guy and put him in some kind of predominant storyline or something that matters besides the goddamn Usos or the Bloodline, then I think it's time that we move on here. Meaning that WWE goes one way and LA Knight goes another. Because, holy shit, man. Jesus Christ. How long are you going to have this guy tied at the hip to the Bloodline until he gets old? It's already gotten old. It's time to move on. It's time to do something else. Jesus. But all in all, I thought it was a decent Raw. I'm excited for the build-up going into SummerSlam. We got some good matches lined up already. Io versus Liv Morgan for the Women's World title. We got Lesnar and Oba in a Hell in a Cell match. And we also got the announcement of Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns for the World Heavyweight title. So I'm definitely excited for this year's SummerSlam. SummerSlam. And to be honest, man, Raw wasn't that bad either. It really wasn't that bad. I like the story that they're going into, the progression that they're going from Night of Champions, going into Monday Night Raw, going into SummerSlam. It's going to be very telling to see what happens in the next few weeks, leading us in to this year's SummerSlam. So I'm definitely excited for that. But with that being said, though, this is my review of Monday Night Raw. I hope you guys are out there staying safe. Be careful, and remember, stay classic. Peace.